Hello, hello, my friends. You guys are going to want to buckle up, strap in, grab some snacks, grab a drink. I have what is probably going to be a pretty lengthy video for you today because I have a pretty big collective candle haul. These are candles that have come into my stash through various orders. I would say over the last 3 weeks, these candles have been trickling in. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you guys what I purchased during the April restock from Caramel Sundays. You guys know I shared with you guys what I was able to order as an ambassador in their pre-order. But these are the candles that I went ahead and purchased on actual restock day where everybody was able to shop from. I have a couple of candles from Gift Gala. I have some from That Candle Place. And I have, I'm trying a new brand. I have decided to purchase a couple of candles from Copper Candle Company. So I guess we could call this like a small business collective candle haul. You guys know that here on my channel, I do have a preference for 100% soy wax candles. And so I'm pretty excited to share a lot of these with you because some I've already started burning, some I haven't yet. We've got a mix of summer fragrances, kind of some like summer ween type of scents, and some straight up fall. So I'm pretty excited to share these all with you guys. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I am hoping to get through this video with as few edits as possible. I mentioned last week that I missed filming my Friday 5, and even filming this video was a bit delayed because I am recovering from a little bit of a cold. So yeah, but hopefully I won't have too many coughing fits here. So let's go ahead and dive into this haul. I will have all of the candles that I'm talking about listed down below with timestamps. If I have any affiliate discount codes that I can offer you guys for additional savings, that's where you will find that as well. So let's go ahead and start out with my Caramel Sundays restock because I feel like a lot of these are not going to be surprising to you. I did end up purchasing a 5-wick, and I mentioned that this one kind of caught me by surprise when I did the pre-order, how much I loved it. This is the fragrance Key West Coconut. So I did get it in a 5-wick. You can see that I have actually already burned it here. Fragrance notes on Key West Coconut are buttery coconut, sea salt, torched sugar, heart of palm, golden hour amber. Now, not only did I get it in this 5-wick fragrance, I did also end up purchasing it in a 2-wick format because this was still sitting on the website like the next day. And I was like, I love that fragrance. I'm not going to let it just sit there. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'm going to go ahead and put this 5-wick here on the ground. So here's the thing with this Key West Coconut. Why do I love it so much? I mentioned that this is a very versatile coconut. One of the things about me is that in order for me to use up my candles, I am somebody who likes to burn through my stash. I don't really consider myself a collector. I like to use what I have. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I am home quite often. And for me, that often means that in order to use up my stash, I'm burning 2 or 3 candles at a time. I like to burn complementary fragrances as I move from room to room in my house. And the reason why I love this Key West Coconut is because it just seems to go so well with so many other candles that are in my collection. If I have an overly fruity cocktail fragrance, this one kind of tones it down because this coconut fragrance is more of like a fleshy, meaty coconut. There is some warmth to it, but this is not like your gourmand coconut. It's not a fruity cocktail coconut. It's got a little bit of sophistication to it without it being overtly perfumey or woody. That's where I say like it's different than say like Kringle's new salted coconut, which is a fragrance that I do like. This one is just more versatile to me. It just goes so nicely with so many fragrances. And so I thought, you know what? I wanted to have more of it. So I definitely purchased more Key West Coconut. Another fragrance that might be a little bit of a surprise for you guys, I actually opted to get this instead of another salted peach butter. Even though I really loved that fragrance, part of me was thinking, no, you know what, Katie, let's rein it in because I have a feeling when they launch their fall fragrances in July that there might be some peach like gourmands in there, at least probably in the first launch. I imagine they would. I don't know. Oh, there's my daughter filling up her water bottle with the ice, the loud ice over there. It's okay. It is now over 100 degrees here in Arizona. So of course my daughter needs nice, cool ice water as she heads off to school. She says hello. Don't know if my mic picks her up. But anyways, getting back to, I passed up the salted peach butter and I decided to purchase a candle that I have never tried from Caramel Sundays, but I've seen it come back a few times. And so I wanted to get it to familiarize myself with the fragrance. It is strawberry whipped cream. Fragrance notes are whipped vanilla, strawberries, graham crackers, pink sugar, and cheesecake. And here's the thing, it's kind of funny that they list all of those fragrance notes because to me, this fragrance smells like strawberry ice cream to my nose. If you are familiar with their ice cream sandwiches fragrance, this smells like the exact same strawberry note. It's the strawberry ice cream accord that you pick up in ice cream sandwiches, but there's no chocolate, like that chocolate ice cream sandwich wafer note that I get. This is really nice. I do like it. Is it something that I feel like I need to have over and over again and I will repurchase? Probably not. But again, this complements a lot of other fragrances that are currently in my collection. I was actually burning this. You will see it in my empties for this month. I did finish burning Kringle Candles ice cream sandwiches, and I really liked this alongside Kringle's version. If you have Caramel Sundays ice cream sandwiches, then this pairs nicely with that. This goes pretty nicely. I'm trying to see, if there's any like blueberry scents that you've been burning, this goes nicely with that. I think right now I'm in a little bit of a mood where I'm wanting more like tropical fragrances. I'll talk about that, that reasoning more in my Friday 5 this week. But yeah, strawberry whipped cream, I do like it. I have burned it already. Strength and throw on this one, so far, I would give it probably about like a 7 for me. It's definitely noticeable, but again, not overwhelmingly strawberry. But I do like this. This is different, I would say, than say Kringle Candles, what is it, sweet cream. Kringle's sweet cream is like a soft, I get more of like a, almost like a vanilla, it's like a vanilla whipped cream with a hint of strawberry in it, where this is definitely more strawberry forward. And this reminds me more of strawberry ice cream than it does of like a strawberry whipped cream. So let's see, that was a 2-wick that I picked up. My friend Amy has been raving about this fragrance, and this was one of the ones that I initially passed on in the pre-order opportunity that I had. This is the fragrance Cabana Coolada. Cabana Coolada has fragrance notes of juicy fiesta pear, creamed pineapple, clementine, vanilla, peach nectar, lemon, lime, sugarcane. What does it say there? Lily, freesia, mango flower, vanilla infused tequila. So there's a lot going on in these fragrance notes. But this is actually a very pretty kind of fruity fragrance. It's not quite perfumey. I'm glad I picked this up. I am going to say that. I'm glad that I picked this up because I have a feeling it's going to pair really nicely with another candle that I put in my pre-order for this month for the May restock. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's kind of hard for me to describe. It's got a little bit of like a, I don't want to say like a watery element, but it's very refreshing. This is like a refreshing type of scent. It's not effervescent, but it's fruity without it being like overly sugary cocktail. It's done very, very well. I don't even really know like all the notes that my nose is picking up on. It's not overly floral, not overly fruity, not overly sugary. Really kind of a hard one to describe. So I am excited to light this. I think the reason why I passed up on it initially was the pear note. I don't usually like pear fragrances. It's very, very rare. Pear can come across a little funny to my nose. So I am excited to light this one. So before I show you guys what 4 wicks I picked up, I did purchase 2 of the car fresheners. So this was their first restock where they had these car fresheners. What you do is you kind of like unscrew the lid here. I already put one in my car. And then you have like these little pads right here, and you put the fragrance oils on them. So the one that's in my car right now is Golden Hour. This is a fragrance that is actually returning this month in their restock. Very, very similar to Yankee Candle's Golden Sands. So if you're familiar with that fragrance and you like it, but you want 100% soy wax alternative, then Golden Hour is the way you're going to go. But the other fragrance that I purchased it in was the fragrance Aloha Kiwi. I was really intrigued by this. I don't have the notes on Aloha Kiwi, but a little bit of a spoiler alert. My ambassador pre-order, Caramel Sundays does have 5 ambassadors for their brand, and one of the perks of that is that we don't get sent PR necessarily, although there's something I'll talk about in this order. They were kind enough to gift us 1 candle in this order, but it's only because it's a very, very special, it's a very special release, and they wanted to make sure that we all got our hands on it. I bet you guys can guess which one it is, because they've been hyping it up quite a bit. But the rest of the candles, you guys, we are given the opportunity to have early access to get our hands on them, as well as purchase them at a discount. So this is one of the fragrances that is going to be in my pre-order. It should be arriving, I want to say, sometime this week. Should be here. I hope to have a video up this weekend. But Aloha Kiwi is one of the fragrances that I did order. And just smelling this little fragrance oil, I feel like it's going to combine really nicely or complement the Cabana Coolada. This is also very like fruity and refreshing. I know that this was available, I believe, in the wax melts during this last restock. So far, one of the things I will say about these car vents is that they do work nicely. I did put the Golden Hour one in my vehicle before I went to California about a week and a half ago. Gives nice fragrance. It's not overwhelming. It's not going to choke you out. I kind of put a couple of drops in my little, in the, whatever that would be, the little sponges or whatever they are that are holding them. I do that every couple of days, maybe like every 3 or 4 days. I'll kind of like refill it. Now, keep in mind, you guys, I'm in a really, really hot, dry climate. My vehicle does stay garaged, but still, you know, we're running the air a lot everywhere this time of year. So I did go ahead and get 2 of those. Now, I did purchase 3 4-wick candles. You guys all know that I had to get my hands on this one. This is the fragrance Double Dipped Danish. Now, I do believe that this is coming back in a 2-wick as well as a 5-wick in the May restock. We have fragrance notes of blueberry compote, powdered sugar glaze, warm cream cheese icing, and pie spices. I have already had this in a 2-wick. I burned that earlier this year. This to me is just like a creamy blueberry type of scent. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I love this one. It's very fruity. I would say it's not as deep and spicy as, say, their Huckleberry fragrance, which I purchased in their, what would that be, March restock. Yeah, this is just definitely more like it's a blueberry scent. If you happen to like Homeworks' blueberry cheesecake, like the original one that they did, then I think you would like this. I think some people pick up on like a lactonic note in this one. I don't so much. I do detect a little bit of pastry accord when this candle is burning. On cold, I get mostly blueberry, but I do get that pastry. And I do kind of get that like sweet, kind of like a vanilla glaze. It's not really like a buttercream frosting in here. It's not super thick. But ooh, I really, really like this one. This has always been a powerhouse fragrance for me. This is a scent that I actually, like I just said, I'm a little bit over kind of like these super, super fruity fragrances right now. I'll probably come back to them. I want to say probably in July. But for right now, I'm a little bit over them. I'm favoring some tropical fragrances right now. Another scent that I plan to put aside for, this is more of like an after the holidays scent for me. I did go ahead and purchase, and you guys know these are those Pyrex 7201 lids. They don't come with the candle. I purchased these off of Amazon. But this is the fragrance Lavender Oat Latte. Fragrance notes on this, oh goodness, this one's a little bit harder for me to read. Lavender, sweet condensed milk, warm oats, lilac, praline, brown sugar, and cinnamon. This to me gives me a lot of kind of like Bath and Body Works pink lavender and espresso vibes. I've heard a lot of other varying opinions. Some people say yes, some people say no. I'm not saying it's a dupe, but it does scratch the itch for me because I do really like that fragrance from Bath and Body Works. But again, because I prefer 100% soy candles now, I'm not really purchasing from BBW. And this does give me that vibe. I think that this is done a little bit better. Now, it's funny. Terry oh goodness, she changed her channel name. It used to be Terry Smellgoods. I think it's called Poor Decisions and Wicked Truths now, which I think is a great pun on candles. Um, she says she smells the lilac in this, which is funny because I am a lilac lover. I don't detect any lilac in here. The lavender note in here kind of reminds me, again, kind of like that really like sweet, almost like a gourmand lavender instead of like an herbaceous spa-like lavender note. But I do get the coffee note in here. What makes this different than BBW is that BBW's is more of like a deep, rich espresso, whereas this is like a blonde roast. It's a little bit lighter of a coffee accord. And I do also get kind of an oat milk accord in here as well, something that's a little bit like warmer and oatier. But I do like this fragrance quite a bit. I really love pairing this with oat milk and pistachio. But again, this is more of a like late winter, early spring type of fragrance for me. So this one is going to go ahead and go into my closet because again, I know that this is a fragrance profile that I love and definitely wanted to have it around. And then the last candle that I purchased from the Caramel Sundays restock is my beloved, let's take a guess, you guys. It's a fragrance that I have been wanting for a long, long time. I've had a lot of candles try to be it, but it's not. Bum, 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 my beloved Sun and Sugar. Fragrance notes on this are sliced lime, coconut, toasted meringue. Oh, what else does this say here? Milky vanilla and graham cracker. I love this one, you guys. It's very, very similar to Yankee Candle's Vanilla Lime. There were a couple of people that asked, how does this compare to Sublime Vanilla? I did do a dedicated review on the 2-wick of this candle. And what I will tell you guys is that it's it's not as creamy. I felt like Sublime Vanilla was more vanilla with lime in it. It was more vanilla forward. It was a softer fragrance. It wasn't as strong to me. Whereas this one is definitely like it's very, very lime forward. I think some people interpret it to be a little bit too astringent of a lime, but I'm not in that camp. I love this fragrance. I love lime scents. It's very bright. It's very zesty. But you do get those other accords in there, a little bit of like a meringue note, particularly when this is burning. Again, if you are somebody who has loved Yankee Candle's Vanilla Lime, but you want soy wax, this is the closest candle I've found to it in years. I've been looking for a long time. That was one of my like OG summer favorites, and I feel like yay, I've finally gotten something that replaces it. That is one of the stronger candles. If you are somebody who is looking for a strong fragrance in the Caramel Sundays May restock, I would definitely recommend Sun and Sugar, Double Dip Danish. Those are two very, very strong scents. I think Sandbar is returning in some format. Sandbar is pretty strong for me. And then there are a couple of other ones that Sierra has said are pretty strong as well, but I haven't gotten my nose on them yet. But again, I'll keep you guys updated when I get the new candles in stock. But yeah, very excited about that. Keep in mind, you guys, I've been beaten on this. I know Caramel Sundays has as well. This is going to be their final restock for summer candles. So if there are any candles that you want for the summertime, any summer fragrances, if you are a summer lover, especially with their brand, the May restock next weekend is going to be the last chance you're going to have to get your hands on those because they are not going to have a June restock. They will be restocking in July on July 5th, and that is going to be their fall launch. So wanted to put that out there. Make sure you guys are all aware. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here to grab a sip of water. My new, I bought this, I think, during like the Prime days. I really like this. We all know the Stanley craze, but I like the little handle on it. Again, need to get my water in and stay hydrated. All right, let's move along to That Candle Place. This is another brand that I started shopping from. I have, how many? I initially, I think my very first one with her was Frosted Carrot Cake. And then I bought a couple of other summer candles. And now these are kind of like, I feel like some of these are summer-like, but then they're also a little bit more of like a summer-ween vibe. I know that she just had, what is it, like her fall, like a fall pre-order. I'm honestly like, I'm not quite ready to buy all fall fragrances yet, you guys. but you're going to see a couple of them in here. But a fragrance that is not a fall scent, and again, nobody's going to be surprised that this one intrigued me. This is the fragrance Key Lime Pie. The fragrance notes, which she does put on the bottom of her candle, and I appreciate, are graham cracker crust, lemon zest, tart key lime filling, and vanilla cream. And yeah, this is very nice. I like this too. This is different than Sun and Sugar. Sun and Sugar is more of like the filling. It's again that very, very lime, like it's very, very lime forward. This to me, I get a little bit more creaminess to it. It's a little bit of a softer take on lime. Still again, no detectably lime, right? But I think that this one would probably, if you found Sun and Sugar to be too lime intense for you, I think that you would like Key Lime Pie. Yeah, this is still lime forward, but again, it's maybe a little bit sweeter, maybe a little bit more sugary, I would say. Not artificial, but I think it's the lemon zest in here that is kind of toning it down, as well as a vanilla cream. I don't get a ton of graham cracker crust on cold, but that might come out when it is burning. I do like this fragrance a lot. I'm not mad at it. It definitely has a place. It's a different fragrance than Homeworks' Key Lime Cake, but I'm an equal opportunity lime lover, right? All of the lime fragrances that I have in my collection right now, I like them all. They all have a little bit different, something different to offer, I would say, but they all have a place. So I did purchase Key Lime Pie. The other fragrance that is giving me kind of these summerween vibes is the fragrance State Fair. State Fair has fragrance notes of funnel cake, caramel dipped apples, powdered sugar, cinnamon, berry compote, brown sugar, blueberry jam, and vanilla glaze. And yeah, this is nice. This is kind of like, it kind of gives me those like summer boardwalk vibes, but there's a little bit of like there's a little bit of berry mixed in it. This is one that, it's funny, when I initially got this in, the berry note was most prominent to me. But again, I got this in almost 2 weeks ago, you guys. Again, these candles have just been sitting around because I was preparing to go out of town. Now when I smell this, I actually get that caramel note in here. I'm definitely smelling caramel. I get the apple, but I also get, again, I'm still smelling blueberry. I'm actually liking this one a lot more now that it's been sitting. That is one of the things you guys do have to keep in mind with a lot of these soy wax candles, particularly a lot of these vendors. Some of them pour to order, or they have been recently poured. And so sometimes letting the candle sit a little bit longer, letting it cure a little bit longer. They say 14 days is the cure time for soy wax candles, but I do find that sometimes letting them sit allows them to kind of, I start to pick up different fragrance notes, even on cold when I go back. So yeah, I'm excited to burn this one. This is definitely a candle that I will probably be burning in July. My family typically goes on a little trip. We usually go to California the week after the 4th of July. And then when I get back, hopefully we get a monsoon this year. I know that they're all saying because of the El Nino. And I, just living in the desert, I'm like, whenever they say we're going to get a good amount of rain for the summer, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. We have not had a good monsoon here for years. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar, in Arizona, we actually typically get rain. Well, we're supposed to. The monsoon season technically, I think, runs June 15th through September 15th, but usually after the 4th of July, usually through like mid-September, is when we will sometimes get a little bit of increase in humidity, not the humidity that y'all get in the South, the Midwest, and the Northeast, but it does start to get a little bit stickier. The temperatures will come down slightly, and by slightly, I mean like we'll be in like high 90s, but we'll get like those big thunderheads, and we will get wild and crazy thunderstorms, and I love it. Like, I love it. It is the saving grace here in the summertime. So I'm hoping we actually get a good monsoon this year. It's been several years since I can remember having a good monsoon. So if we do, that's when I'm going to want to have all of these kind of like summerween types of fragrances. Now, another candle that she says that this is slightly different. It's a variation of a candle that I originally purchased from that candle place. It is the fragrance Carrot Cake. Fragrance notes on Carrot Cake are cinnamon, spice cake, brown butter, zested carrot, coconut, buttercream frosting. Now, the other one I had was frosted carrot cake. But again, I like this. Oh man, do I like this. I really like the way that Shelby does carrot cake. I know her frosted carrot cake had kind of like an orange note in it, which I think some people, that kind of caught some people off guard. But I like it because the orange note brings a little bit more of like a lighter note to it. It's not as heavy as a spice cake. Say like Caramel Sunday's Coffin Cake or Gift Gala has their fragrance. What is it called? Like Grandma's Kitchen. That's more of like a spice strudel type of thing. But again, it's in that same type of family. This is a little bit lighter and airier take on a spice, like on otherwise a spicy type of scent, and I am here for it. Yeah, the brown butter, the zested carrot. I think it's the carrot in here that's coming across. It's giving a little bit of that like vegetal sweet quality that I really, really like in a carrot cake fragrance. I am not somebody who wants a ton of like frosting notes with my carrot cake notes or with my carrot cake candles. I definitely prefer more of the spicy cake element of it. But this is really beautiful. I am looking forward to this. Again, this is one that I could see myself doing as like some evening burns maybe once I start to be over some of all of the tropical scents. Yeah, this will be a nice transitional scent. Honestly, I feel like if you're a gourmand lover, if you love those spicy fragrances, this is one that you could burn year round. It gives those warm, cozy vibes. You could probably even burn this, I would say, around Christmas. Honestly, it's a beautiful fragrance. I feel like this is a scent my mom would have really, really loved because she loved like kind of spicy fragrances like that. Speaking of somewhat spicy fragrances, I did go ahead and purchase a 3-wick from that candle place. I've never had one of her 3-wicks before, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot. It is the fragrance Oatmeal Maple Cookies. Oatmeal Maple Cookies has fragrance notes of almond, cinnamon, ginger, maple sugar, spiced oats, and cookie dough. And this one is also really good, you guys. I'm going to smell the lid. It's different than carrot cake, obviously, but again, another kind of like spicy gourmand. This one, I smell like the oatiness. I do like an oat type of fragrance note in a lot of my gourmands. The maple note is not overly sweet. It doesn't remind me of like maple syrup or maple pancakes, nothing like that. This is really nice. Again, another like soft, cozy. It's not a cake note. There's a little bit more of a density to it that I would say would be associated with like a cookie. Yeah, I like this one quite a bit. I feel like this might actually be really nice with I have Sugared Diamonds, which was Fruit and Flakes from Kringle Candle. Stay tuned, you guys. I have a fun Kringle video that I'm hoping to upload for you guys next week. That I might be talking about that Sugared Diamonds and but yeah, this is very, very nice, you guys. I do like this. Again, another fragrance that's just like a good kind of like basic spice gourmand type of note or type of fragrance that you might like. The ginger is not super gingery in here. No, I don't get a ton of ginger in this. I get a little bit, but again, it's just kind of giving some warmth without it being overly like wintertime warmth. Now, here's a fragrance that I do believe that this is intended to be like an alternative to a very popular Bath and Body Works fragrance. This one is called Marshmallow Fireside. Fragrance notes on here are toasted marshmallows, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, smoldering woods, fire roasted vanilla, and amber. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is the closest dupe for Bath and Body Works Marshmallow Fireside that I have come across in a 100% soy wax candle. She nailed this one. If you are somebody who likes Marshmallow Fireside from BBW, you will like this fragrance. Not the exact same, but very close sibling. I think somebody would probably, if you're familiar with Marshmallow Fireside, would open this candle, put their nose in it, and be like, oh yeah, that smells like Marshmallow Fireside. It's not as ambery as Kringle Candle's Warm and Toasty. It's not overly smoky. There's a little bit of that fireside hearth-like element in it, but it is definitely that like sweet marshmallow in there as well. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I need to go on and on about that, but if you're looking for a 100% soy wax alternative, I would definitely check out this Marshmallow Fireside. And then the last candle that I wanted to show you from that candle place, I did purchase pumpkin gingerbread. I do tend to like gingerbread scents. I like that spiciness. The fragrance notes on pumpkin gingerbread are orange zest, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, anise, clove, and brown sugar. And yeah, I like it. Is it anything earth shattering? No, it is very gingery. You do smell the ginger in here. Very like spice forward. If you're somebody who doesn't like spice scents, you're probably not going to be interested in this. I do get the brightness and the sweetness again from like an orange zest. It's not a juicy orange, but there is a little bit of like an orange element in here. What else does she have? There's definitely nutmeg, cinnamon, anise, clove, like those like warm spices. A little bit of brown sugar as well. Um, yeah, again, like nothing earth shattering, but just cozy and yummy. And I have a feeling that this one is going to do well for me. This is quite strong on cold. I will say this is probably the strongest one on cold, but all of these are decently strong on cold. So who knows? I don't know how freshly poured they are, but probably decently, like I would say like decently recently poured, I would say. Let's get another sip of water. Here's cheers. Let's hydrate. Let's stay hydrated for these um, months that are upon us. I know a lot of you guys in other parts of the country, it's still rather chilly for you, but not here, not where I am. Okay, I wanted to share with you guys what I purchased from Gift Gala. I did end up purchasing 2 candles from Gift Gala recently. This is one that I got, I think, initially in the wax melts, and I said, yes, for sure, I wanted to get it. This is the fragrance Pink Sunsets and Sandals. It has fragrance notes of creamy coconut, coastal florals, warm sands, sea air, and gentle musk. This is very, very similar to Yankee Candle's Pink Sands. So if you like a fragrance like that, if you are familiar with Bath & Body Works Flamingo Beach from a couple of years ago, very, very similar fragrance profile. Again, just 100% soy wax. So I'm not going to go on and on about this. I will do a dedicated review on this candle once I get, a little bit further down the burn mark on it. But I did go ahead and purchase Pink Sunsets and Sandals. The other fragrance that I ended up getting, you guys, I initially actually ordered Midway Magic. However, I only had Midway Magic initially to gauge my thoughts on in the wax melts. And my friend Amy was saying that Midway Magic to her actually kind of reminded her a little bit of Kringle Cupcake. And Kringle Cupcake kind of had like a scorched note to my nose when it was burning. And so that honestly kind of scared me off a little bit. So I did end up messaging Shelby after I placed my order, because again, I initially ordered Midway Magic, and then I kind of like listened to more reviews on it from the candle. And I was like, you know what, Shelby, can I switch that out for another fragrance? And she said, sure. So I decided to purchase the fragrance Sunlit Shelves. Now this is from, I think, the spring collection. I had ordered a spring sampler back in like January or February. And so I already knew what this smelled like because I had in like a little like votive. Sunlit Shelves has fragrance notes of cashmere coconut, cedar, and sandalwood. Oh goodness, here we go. But here's the thing, you guys. This is very, very similar. I remembered when I got this in, I was like, oh, this smells super similar. And I couldn't put my nose on it at first what it was. This is very, very similar to Kringle Candle's knit sweaters. If you like knit sweaters, which I think that they released that with, was it Warm and Cozy? I want to say it was like in January 2023. They had like a winter flight, and there were 2 of them. I want to say it was knit sweaters. That's the fragrance. I'll pop it up right here so that way you guys have a picture of what I'm talking about. Very, very similar fragrance, you guys. Very, very similar fragrance. I don't have the 2 of them side by side to compare, but that is what this reminds me of. So this is kind of that like cozy, knit sweaters has a coconut note in it. And I'm going to tell you guys, I think it's the same type of coconut. It's a warm, creamy, it's not a tropical coconut. It's not even like a fleshy, meaty coconut like that's in that Key West coconut. This is definitely, yeah, it's a like almost like a cashmere coconut type of scent. Very pretty. But I do like this. I have actually been burning this with Caramel Sundays Cowgirl. I feel like those are kind of like some nice fragrances that complement each other. You can see I already burned it. I did burn this the other evening, and despite it being like kind of like a softer type of fragrance profile, this one I would give it like a respectable 7 on the first burn. Again, I'll keep burning it and give you guys like dedicated thoughts on it. I do believe that Shelby said that this candle is going to be sticking around in the permanent lineup. After, you know, some of the spring scents are going into the vault, but this is one that is going to stick around, which is why I thought, you know what, it's probably a safe bet for me to go ahead and try it. All right, last but certainly not least, a new candle brand to me. This is Copper Candle Company. This is a small business. I believe that they are based out of Delaware. And I think that they might pour to order as well, similar to Gift Gala. I did order 4 candles. They were kind enough to throw in a little bit of a wax melt for me too. So the wax melt that they threw in was pistachio crunch cake. And this smells good. Kind of like a, kind of reminds me a little bit of pistachio and toasted vanilla from Bath and Body Works, but not as creamy maybe. It's got a little bit of like a kind of like a spicy like streusel type of topping. There's something in there. I don't have the notes in front of me, but this smells good. It's not the same pistachio note that Caramel Sundays has. I feel like Caramel Sundays just has a like a stronghold on the pistachio note for me personally. But this is really nice. I do like that. Not sure that I would order it in a full-size candle right now. Again, just because I have a lot, you know, to burn. But I appreciate them throwing that in for me. Okay, so let's start out. I ended up buying 4 candles. So the first one I wanted to try out is Southern Summer. And you know what, you guys? They do not have the fragrance notes listed here. I will make sure to pop up the fragrance notes here on the screen so that way you can check them out. Southern Summer. Okay, this fragrance to me, I know that there's like a cactus note in here. I think that there's like, they list on the website like a rum note. I don't get anything boozy from this. This is kind of like a softer floral. I feel like, you know what this fragrance reminded me of? This reminds me quite a bit of a softer take on Kringle Candles Seaside. If you like Seaside from Kringle, that's what I detect in here. There's almost like I feel like it's kind of like a woody lavender type of note in here. But again, not as deep. Like this is not as deep as Seaside, but it's in that fragrance family. I actually plan to burn this alongside Coral and my Sea Salt and Tonka from Kringle, because I feel like it's a nice, yeah, it'll go nicely with that. It's in that same type of fragrance family. I was talking to somebody else who purchased this, and she actually thinks that this is very similar to Bath and Body Works. Is it their Cactus Blossom candle? But I haven't smelled that candle in a long, long time. But this is a nice, like, again, pretty summer floral that's not tropical floral. It's kind of clean. Kind of relaxing type of scent, but it doesn't lean all the way aromatherapy. I do like this. I like it quite a bit. So the first one is Southern Summer. The next candle I actually started burning last night before I could get my B-roll of them freshly, you know, the fresh one. I usually try to make sure that I get the B-roll of the candles before, but I didn't. I was too excited to burn this one. This is the fragrance Vanilla Tides. So Vanilla Tides. These are all, I think it says, these are like that like 22 ounce of wax. I do believe the net weight usually on these does run between anywhere between like 18 and 19 ounces of wax. But you guys, this is like a, I burned this last night. This vanilla is a very rich vanilla. Almost leans kind of caramel-like, I would say. It's, yeah, I burned this last night and it was good. It's almost like a vanilla custard in some ways. Like it's very, very rich vanilla. It's not a light, like cakey vanilla. It's not like Bakery on Main. Yeah, it actually kind of smells a little bit different now that I've burned it. Like when I initially got it in on cold, it was almost giving off like a French vanilla type of scent. Um, I like this. I like it. Do I feel like I need hordes of it? No. Um, but I did have this burning last night in my bedroom. First burn, you guys. So again, I don't really judge any candle on a first burn, particularly with soy wax. Sometimes they take a couple of burns to really come to life and come into their own. But first burn on this one, it was decent for a vanilla fragrance. I would say it was probably about a 6 in my Hurricane. I did have it burning in the bedroom. It filled up that space. I could definitely smell it throughout. But again, it's a rich vanilla. It's a there's a density to it, almost leans caramel like, I would say, but not like the same caramel note that I pick up in like a fragrance that is actually marketed as a caramel. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but I do like it quite a bit. Another fragrance that I purchased, I feel like this is a fragrance, like you can just name any candle this and I'm probably going to purchase it. This is their fragrance, Golden Hour. Now, Golden Hour to me, this does not smell like Golden Sands from Yankee, which is what Caramel Sunday's Golden Hour smells like to me. This is a little bit different, but I am also at the same time going to say that this smells kind of familiar. This is kind of like it's in that same vein, I would say. It leans a little body care to me, which is what is making me feel a little bit nervous about this one. But the only thing with body care stuff is sometimes when it comes across a little bit too lotiony, or yeah, if it comes across a little bit like too much like a shea lotion or something, that gets nauseating to me. I don't detect anything on cold that I think it's going to do that. I have a feeling that this one is going to transform when it is burning. But again, it's in the vein, I would say, of like Golden Sand. I think I like Golden Hour from Caramel Sundays a little bit better. This is a little bit powdery to me. I think that's the other thing that I'm smelling. This smells very, very similar to something. I've smelled this fragrance before, and I'm just trying to put my nose on exactly what it is. But again, I'll have the fragrance notes up for you guys. Yeah, it's nice. I am going to say my favorite fragrance from the haul completely is the scent Orange Scone. I think this was part of like a spring lineup. Now this to me, you guys, oh, this is good. This smells kind of like a it's the sweet orange note that I would detect in say like an orange creamsicle, but it's not a popsicle scent. Like it's not like a cold frozen thing. That it's that orange note mixed with like a scone, like a kind of like not a dense buttery pastry, but like a very if you've ever had a scone, they're not very sugary. They're in fact, I don't even think you put sugar in a scone recipe. But there's a warmth to it. It's kind of that like cakey, it's a cross between almost like a cake and a cookie type of texture. And I actually smell that in this candle, but it's with that orange note. The orange note is beautiful. I am really, really excited to burn this one. This is definitely my favorite of the 4 candles that I purchased. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated with thoughts on these, but yeah, these are all of the candles that I picked up. I did want to let you guys know that I am pretty much now for this month and next month going to be on a low / almost maybe a no buy. I'm tinkering with that. I think what I'm saying is that this is going to be very, very intentional purchases throughout the month of May and June. In fact, the only purchase I've made so far this month has been the what I pre-ordered in the Caramel Sundays, their May launch. Even in that, you guys, I only purchased 5 candles, and like I said, they're sending one as a gift to us. But otherwise, I only purchased 5 in that one. I have my eye on maybe 3 or 4 candles in the gift gala. Is it like Summer to Savor collection? Something like that. Have my eye maybe on getting a couple, but again, you guys, I'm really gonna be winding down on purchasing candles for summer specifically, or even like Summerween vibes, because for me, I am actually going on vacation in a week and a half, so I'm going to be gone for a week. Then I'll be back for the month of June, but then I'm also going to be gone for another week in July. And so my goal is to not have a lot of summer fragrances like put back into my collection or left over by the time I get to mid-July. So I definitely don't want to overwhelm myself with all of the summer fragrances. But yeah, there's always new stuff coming out, and I know we're going to blink, you guys, and we're going to start seeing all of the fall candles, on our doorstep. So these are all exciting. These are, I'm excited to get to burning them. I will make sure that I share post-burn thoughts with you guys either in my Friday 5. I will also try to get to dedicated reviews. But yeah, lots and lots of candles in my stash, lots to burn through, lots to enjoy this summer. So let me know in the comment section down below if you purchased any of these candles or if you have experience with any of them. I would be curious to hear what your thoughts are. Once again, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you feel like you vibe with me and want to stick around for home fragrance candle content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.